What's this? Zach Wilson is now impressing. Isn't this the guy they were saying couldn't be consistent in practice? Isn't this the guy we were supposed to be panicking about because he couldn't complete short passes? Now, all of a sudden, day one, Zach was excellent. How long will this roller coaster continue? And this roller coaster ride is not like my friend Green Bean's roller coaster rides. It's not the kind of rides that are fun. It's the kind of rides that are really annoying and irritating. Zach's going to have good practices and Zach's going to have bad practices. And when we get back, we'll talk about today's practice and what's going on with our New York Jets. See you in a few. Oh yeah, go. Amazing, that's my boy. He
breaks away from a sack and completes the pass for first down.
Kittle just may have made the most amazing catch.
He fights for the first down and gets out of bounds too.
It's no good. Overtime. Oh, what a catch. How do you drop that? What are you, Jamal Adams? Touchdown.
This is a touchdown all the way.
He reached over the pylon. San Francisco beat Cincinnati. Yes, so finally, we get some good news out of camp, some positivity. Well, not so much Rich Cimini, but my good friend, Connor Hughes. So it was funny because the same exact practice, two reporters watching it, and one says, best practice of, so far of the 5 times they let the media in to watch. Excellent. He did great. He was accurate. He ran all the plays he was supposed to run. He stayed within the play calls. Great. And then Rich Cimini says, yeah, he was good on 7 and 7s, 11 and 11. He ended with a sack and a bad note. So day. Isn't that funny? And isn't that the evidence you need to know that these are just a bunch of guys no different than us with doing nothing but making interpretations? And you have to wonder, does that interpretation have anything to do with the story that they want to tell? Maybe Connor Hughes already told a very negative story, and now he needs to pull back a little. Doesn't want to define himself as a Zach hater. So I'll spin this practice in a very positive light. Rich Cimini says, I've been positive lately. Can't do that. I'm going to be negative today and spin this in the worst possible light. And DJ Bien continues to stay the most neutral of all of them. Which I'm totally fine with. He won't get involved or put either down. He says they both are accurate about the practice today. But anyway, the good news to me, if I'm going to, my takeaway from it is just very simple. It's not the fact that he went 10 for 13 and, and little statistics like that in a practice. It's that he was staying within the play calls. So that it wasn't like it was off book. He wasn't scrambling and running around and making plays that way. He was following the playbook, which to me probably implies that he was staying in the pocket. And that's exactly what we want Zach Wilson to continue to work on, staying in the pocket. The off-script part of his game, that's wonderful and really fun, is not something you want to see in practice. That's his natural instincts as a quarterback. That's what he already has. That's who he is. The practice has to be about where he needs to grow and develop. We want a quarterback that can master the pocket, progress through the offense, through the receivers, tight ends, make the right decisions, and let the off-script stuff be the bonus, the extra, the thing that makes him extra special, that he can run the offense, but when a play does break down, it doesn't have to be a wasted play, and sometimes it'll even become a touchdown. Anyway, I want to say hello to Jacob Finnegan. What's up, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you. You were here really soon, and you are very, very high on Wilson when you say he's better than Brady. He's certainly a better guy than Brady. I like him better than Brady. He's got a long way to prove to be a better quarterback than Brady, but who knows? What is Brady, 45 now? He might come out and stink. And Zach might come out and blow the league away, so we'll see. What's up, Clutch? Going on? Chiefs in the Clutch? Let me know if you're putting out videos yet, man. You got to tell us in here so we can go support you and watch them. I don't know if I got to search for you on YouTube. I don't know if you have a link yet. But if you're putting out content, we need to know about it so we can support you, buddy. And my friend in New Zealand, Bismo. No, he's my friend in Australia. Bismo Charisma. Bismo Charisma. He's in Australia. You thought I was going to make that mistake again, didn't you, Bismo? Well, I didn't. Hi, Mike. Such a delight to have you on here. Cool, man. Let's see. What time is it where you are? -5. No, 1, 12, 11, 10, 9:37? 9:37 on Wednesday morning? Let me know if I'm right. That's what I think it is. I think it's 9:37 a.m. on Wednesday morning for you. It's so weird. You're like in the future, man. Can you tell me what happened? Can you tell me what happened in the Mets and Yankee game tonight? I can put some bets in. Jets gang, what's going on, buddy? Jets. Little surprise show here, right? Just came in. Want to make a little announcement to those of you that are here already, just so you know. So I have information that Jets Talk 24/7 is not on tonight, but at 8:00 p.m. Eastern, Green Bean is on. So make sure you go to Green Bean Jets Fan at 8 p.m. Eastern time and make sure that you are there to watch and enjoy the show, because we all know it gets good when Green Bean's in the house. So just wanted to share that information with everybody. 8:00, Green Bean Jets Fan, not Jets Talk 24/7. The panel is not on tonight. Mets, what's going on? Okay, Clutch, Chiefs in the clutch. I'm going to look it up, buddy. I'm going to look it up. We're going to start pushing your stuff a little. May even play some of your video on this channel live on Wednesday night. We want to help you out, buddy. Mess. Snacks. I just ate my cookies. You missed it. They were good, man. I ate my cookies. 7:37. How did I mess that up, man? I thought you were 5 hours behind. I thought you were 5 hours behind us. Like you know what I mean? Like I thought the formula was -5 add a day. Or add a day -5. 7, 10, so that's 12. Okay, I guess it's -7. I guess unless New Zealand and Australia are in different time zones. Is that the case? Maybe it's 9:37 a.m. in New Zealand. Or maybe you guys are a big enough country where, depending on what side of the continent you're on, whether it's New Zealand or Australia, you actually are in different time zones. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to try to remember that. You're -7. Add a day, -7 hours. So it's early. You're waking up and you get to see my ugly mug and hear my voice talking about the Jets. What a nice surprise, right? Bismo, I need the lottery numbers. Yeah. Bismo, can you move to a place that's like 10 years in the future and give us like the next crypto advice or Tesla advice or Netflix? Guys, if I can go back in time, I can go back to 2009 and buy Netflix, right? Make a crazy amount of money, and right around 2017, just buy a shitload of Tesla, or not even 2019. Why even be that early on it? 2019, right when it dipped to like 220, and just jump in, put all that money you made in Netflix and jump into Tesla. Or you go back to around 2012 and you just buy crazy amounts of Bitcoin when it was under $1. You just put every dollar you have in Bitcoin and you're a billionaire. So many ways to make money if we could look into the future, but we can't. What's up, Johnny G? How you doing? Ryan become a daddy yet? I don't know about Ryan. That could be the reason. To be honest, I mean, I love Ryan. So hopefully if he did, I hope the baby is healthy and everything. I have another friend that we all know, Talking Jets with Tigo, who was in the hospital on Sunday night waiting for the birth of his son. I have not heard from him yet, so I assume he's just really busy and overwhelmed with everything that must be going on. So we have two people that I think we are curious about whether they became a daddy. I'm sure Green Bean will know about Ryan and give an update tonight. So we can find out on Green Bean show tonight, 8:00 Eastern. I'm sure he'll have information about Ryan and whether or not he is a dad, and I will try to reach out to Tigo and find out what's going on there. But best of thoughts to all of them. I hope that both moms are doing well, both babies are doing well, and both dads are doing well. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing your stuff. I know you were great when you called in here on this show. Okay, so you have different time zones. Okay. So that's another thing I'm gonna have to get used to. It took me what, about 6 months to learn that you're from Australia, and And what's his face is from New Zealand. I like just calling him what's his face. So now I'm gonna have to. How long is it gonna take for me to remember 7 hours, 5 hours, and 7 hours? I'm gonna have to I'm gonna be doing the math differently for each of you. Oh, it's Braden from New Zealand. That's who I'm thinking of. Tin Star's in the house. What's going on, Tin Star? How you doing, man? And we got Ryan, not yet. But what about Tigo, man? We're all waiting on news for Tigo too. So Ryan, not yet. Getting close, I bet, though. Bet he's getting close. All right, so let's talk about today's news. So look, I'm going to read it right off of Twitter, some of it. Let's see what they're saying, because I did see some fun stuff on Twitter already, right? So here we go. Let's see what DJ said. So the New York Daily News, the article he wrote is Zach Wilson has best offseason practice as Jets open mandatory minicamp. Now, I wonder if he means best offseason practice ever from last year too, or if he's talking about just this year. See, this is the thing about the beat. We rely on them, right? I mean, so I try to look at this. I don't care about their opinions or their interpretations, but they are the guys that are in there. So I try to get their just the facts. What are they going to publish? That's like you can't make up, right? And that's would be things like what are the numbers? And I saw something about. Okay, so here we go. The former number 2 overall pick went 10 for 13 in team drills and 13 for 16 on 7-on-7s. So what does that mean? That means he went 23 for 29 overall, which means he's throwing the ball well. Most impressive is that he, again, stayed within the system, and this wasn't off-play kind of things. This was staying in the pocket and running the plays that they want him to run, and that's so important because we want him running this offense appropriately. We want the scheme being ran appropriately. We don't want it to be Zach running to his left, for his life and chucking the ball up. That's not the offense that we want. So let's be excited that not only did he have a good day, but he had a good day running the offense the way it's meant to be ran. So that's from DJ Bien. If anybody else has more news that they want to share, please share. I'm sure we'll get more details later. I didn't really just got back from work, so I haven't had a time to actually study or examine all the information that might be out there for other players. But it's practice, guys, so I'm not going to freak out over it. The number one thing that I haven't read is I didn't read about any major injuries, and knock on wood that one of you is not going to correct me. But I didn't read anything about injuries. And to be honest with you, that is the most important thing. There is nothing more important each day of these camp and practices and these days of leading up to the season than no injuries. Going into the season healthy is the most critical thing. So I have not heard about any injuries. I know some guys are dinged up or have been dinged up, nothing threatening their season. I'm not concerned about Becton yet. I got my ears open. I got my eyes open. I'm not completely ignoring the fact that he's not participating in the regular practice, but I'm also have no reason to doubt what the coaches and what the staff is saying that he'll be ready when the time comes. But I got obviously at some point you look forward to actually seeing him on the field. It'll be nice if he is in that first drive, that first preseason game, just for one drive. If you see him, lined up at left or right tackle, and doing his thing, it'll be great to see. I heard he looks good though. LaFleur said he looks good, so that's nice. I think he wanted to make sure that no more fake rumors about his weight get out there. So, and we've seen a lot of videos and pictures that Mekhi Becton definitely looks good. Yeah, look, and we're speaking about practice. So, and I say that. Yep, absolutely, Steele. I'm not going to sit there and say that Zach Wilson is, you see, I told you he's great. It's practice. Just like him when he's off, it doesn't mean that much. It doesn't mean so much when he's on. It's just nice to see because of what was being said about him. it's nice to see, look, there's days he can come out and be accurate. He could throw a football. And maybe that's what he was working on today, right? Maybe they were working on staying in the pocket and making good, sharp passes. I don't know, but it's good to know that he's been doing it. It's better than hearing he was 1 for 15 or something like that and throwing interceptions. But does it mean anything for the year? No, not saying that at all. And I'm the first to say the most important thing is the no injuries. That's what we want to hear more than anything. And then, you like to hear good things. There's no question about it. I just think that the takes on Zach were so negative, and like they were acting like he was so inconsistent in camp because, it's just crazy. There are going to be days where he has bad days, and we don't even know that they're bad. It could mean that he's just working on something, and it's going to look bad, but he's just working on something. But injury news is the thing for sure, man. That's the thing I think we have to follow the most is injury news. That's what we care about most. But look, it's nice to, like, when Becton starts playing, that's going to be great news, right? Like when we hear a report, like in a practice someday, Becton was in, full participant, we're going to be happy about that. That's going to be good news. So it's nice. It'll be nice to hear that too. And as far as the takes on the players and the rookies, I like things like listening to Corey Davis talk about Garrett Wilson. Because if Garrett Wilson didn't look like anything special, you would have gotten a very rehearsed, typical answer. So, young man, he's learning the system, blah, 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 looks talented. But Corey Davis didn't do that. He was like, the way he was talking about him was nice. Saying that he has crazy route running and it's sick how much separation he causes. Getting that specific, that's exciting stuff. And that's more important than what the media tells us, what they see from the sideline. To hear what other players say about, younger players is nice to hear. It's very nice. We've heard nothing but good things about Zach Wilson. I'm sorry, Garrett Wilson. I've heard nothing about Jermaine Johnson, honestly. I've heard nothing. So I'm curious about that. I've heard good things about Gardner. I've seen some good footage on Gardner. So I'm not worried about Sauce at all, to be honest. To me, he's the most sure thing in my life as a fan. I've never felt more confident about a player. I'm going to knock on wood right now because I said that. But I feel very confident about him. JJ is always, defensive line is always a concern for me. It's one of the hard positions to predict. So it'd be nice to get some news on him, and hear that he looks good and everything. And I would love to hear about Michael Clemens. Would love to hear about him. Mekhi Becton was looking light on his feet, trying to make the same catches. There's one video. He's trying to make some catches. Trying to make catches. Oh, make some catches. So Mekhi Becton is practicing catching the football? Okay. Mekhi Becton and Carl Lawson were in the rehab trainers working on a separate field. Okay. Look, I don't mind that. I'm not worried. I think that they're probably just doing the safest, smartest approach to getting him ready for the season. The people saying to trade Becton are out of their mind. Absolutely, man. The trade Becton thing is such a joke. And if you're going to trade a guy, it's like you never trade low. You don't trade a guy after he was out for a year and people are going to be worried about an injury. If you have a concern about a guy, you wait till he looks really good and you get really high trade value for him. But why would you do that? Right? I mean, we need good tackles. We've needed them forever. We're not trading them. People that think that we need to trade them are just crazy. They're just overreacting and panicking. I read on Twitter a guy putting down Zach Wilson saying he's awful. He's the worst. He's the worst quarterback in the NFL right now, and that's where he deserves to be ranked. It's like, people don't understand football, right? You're going to sit there and attack a rookie, and if all you could look at is box stats, and that's your limitation, then that's your limitation. But I would argue that. And I'm not sitting there and saying Zach Wilson's amazing or should be top 5 or anything like that. I'm not being a homer. I think Zach Wilson's a big question mark. I think he's a guy with a very, very high ceiling, amazing potential, but there are some things that he's going to have to do and prove he can do at the NFL level to reach that ceiling. Otherwise, we're going to be grossly disappointed. And what that means is come the season, he's going to have to step up and show growth and continue to grow in slowing that game down and reading those defenses and going through his progressions. That's what it's going to be about. It's not about his physical talent. It's about his brain and his mind and his processing speed. That's what's going to determine what kind of quarterback and who Zach Wilson is going to be. Yeah, Samini. Yeah, but Samini's up and down, right? Sometimes he decides he wants to be positive, and sometimes he wants to be negative. It's so confusing because when I did listen, I went into the Jets lounge once when Samini was in there, and he said nothing upsetting. Like there was nothing he said that wasn't. I could have a conversation with this guy, a really good conversation about the Jets, and he's very knowledgeable, knows and has access to a lot of information that I don't have. And I thought to myself when I was in the Jets lounge listening to him, why can't you be that guy as a reporter and a journalist? Is it really proven that you can't be positive and look at positives and be honest about negatives? But it must be a proven fact that negative spin just makes more money and it gets more clicks. But when he was free to be him and he wasn't selling articles and he was just in a lounge talking about the Jets, he wasn't negative. He wasn't looking for controversy. He was just talking Jets and being really honest. And it was really a pleasure. It's just the confusion comes when he writes those articles and he's, and it's just so, maybe it's not even about attacking him. Maybe it's just taking everything that those guys say with such a big grain of salt because that they need to make a living. And I guess there's pressure on them. So I'm just going to be really careful about what I believe and what I don't believe. Numbers, I believe. 10 for 13, I believe. Staying in the pocket. He stayed in the pocket. I believe that. His arm looked a little weak. I don't know if he has a strong arm. I'm not going to believe that. I'm going to laugh at that and say, yeah, some guy standing on the sideline is going to be able to determine the strength of his arm. Okay. Yeah, whatever. So I like that Mims looks sharp. That's good to see. I saw that. I don't know if I highlighted it, but I like that Mims look sharp. That's great, man. I'm a big Mims fan. We all know that. There's nothing I would want more than for him to step up and resume his career from his rookie year, put last year behind him. It'd be great for the Jets too. And I love when people get mad at that. No, he stinks. Like, why would you want him to stink? Some people just want to be so negative and like they're hoping for it. It doesn't make any sense. If you're a Jets fan, you should be saying the same exact thing. I really hope he's good. I hope last year was just an anomaly. I hope that it just goes down as the worst year of his career. That's what we should be hoping with all of our might. We're Jets fans. We're supposed to want to win. So so any news about him that's positive, I'll take. Last year at this time, he was sick. There was nothing good, but hearing 20 pounds of muscle, look sharp, running the routes. This is all good stuff because we know his speed. We know his size. We know what kind of athlete he is. If this kid's running the routes and knows the plays really well, and he's been working his tail off, I mean, this is nothing but good for us. Love it. What do you think about Pinnock's performance so far? I don't know about today, but I've heard good things about Pinnock overall from OTAs. Look, I'm excited about. I'm not going to go out there and say Pinnock's going to be a great safety. It's done. I don't know what his floor is and what his ceiling is. I do know that from a very small sample, he played a little bit for a few weeks. They were testing him out, and then he played like that full game against Tampa. I think he played the whole game. I think he played about 2 games. It's a small sample, but he played well. And that's interesting because you think that they would target him, right? I mean, or find a way to expose us. You got this rookie who never played safety, who's a cornerback, an island cornerback for Pittsburgh, right? I mean, he played on an island. And they switched him to safety in practice and gave him a little play time, and they were using him that way to prepare him. They stick him into a game, and he played really well and solid. He wasn't a weakness. And when you consider his age and that he's a rookie, and now he has a full offseason and he's working on it full time, I don't know, man. Maybe he's going to be a good, solid starting safety. Maybe he's really going to be a good player, and I'm hopeful that he will. But I don't have much more than that on him. I didn't read anything negative about him at safety, just that he's working hard. There was some comments that he's working hard and he looks like he's in the right place. He doesn't look lost or out of place. I think there was some mention of that when they talked about Pinnock and they talked about Ashton Davis. Ashton Davis actually has a lot more positive press. I've heard a lot more positive things about Ashton Davis, specifically because it's been on pass defense. So I already believe that Ashton Davis can be a decent in the box type safety. But to start hearing that he's doing some good things in pass coverage and getting some picks, and his instincts are starting to, and his comfort level in the system is starting to come to fruition, that's exciting. That's exciting. I don't know if we're as weak at safety as we all thought we were. I think that we have Whitehead, and I think that there's a lot of competition. We got a veteran in LaMarcus Joyner. I mean, Pinnock, again, we don't, could have a good ceiling. We don't know what his floor is. We don't know. Ashton Davis, I don't think has gotten a fair evaluation. I'm not sitting there claiming he's going to be an all-pro safety. I'm just saying to call him a bust or to say he's not going to be a good safety in the NFL, it's just way too soon to say that. I mean, year one is a wash to me. When you look at the coaching staff and you look at the team and, he was banged up. Then he comes year two and he was started off hurt. He gets in and he starts and he didn't play horrible. He made mistakes, but he's kind of like a rookie in a new system. And just like Quincy Williams, same thing. Looked really good at times. Looks like he has potential to make big plays. Some good things to be excited about. But at the same time, mistakes, missed tackles, missed assignments. You turn those around, you get comfortable in the system, and you take away those missed assignments. All of a sudden, you're talking about exciting players. So I don't know. We're going to see. I wouldn't be confident about safety and say, oh, yeah, we're deep, and these are all starting level guys. But I think when you think about Pinnock, LaMarcus Joyner, Ashton Davis, Elijah Riley, if he even makes the team, when you think of all these guys and the moments they've had, I think that in a competition, the one that ends up playing and the one that's getting most of the snaps might turn out to be fine. We'll see. Do we analyze? I've never in my life did we analyze a team to this level. Like growing up, like we thought about every position. You got to have an all-pro in every position. Like you're freaking out. It's the same thing at center. Look, I'm not the biggest McGovern fan, but we're freaking out over it. But he's like the top, the number 12 center in the NFL. I mean, I don't know what we're crying about. It's not a hole in the team. If we can improve on them, we would, right? We're always going to try to get better, but we're so quick to be so down on players if they're not like superstars. We need solid players. You can't have a superstar at every position. We just need a lot of solid players and some stars. And we need the stars not to come from $25 to $30 million contracts that come at the cost of other good players. We need these draft picks to become stars. That's how it happens. You get a bunch of these guys while they're on the cheap, develop into special players, and then you have all your money that you could put into core players, just good, solid guys like Whitehead, like Reed, good, solid guys. We spent a little bit more money, but man, Laken Tomlinson was a steal. What a great signing that was. Guys like Conklin. You just bring in these kind of guys. And it's like they're not going to win you Super Bowls on their own, but they could be that core, that depth of having good players. And then hopefully guys like Elijah Moore, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Carl Lawson, JJ, Sauce Gardner. These are the potential guys that might be superstars, right? They might come out and be special. And that's the combination and blends that can get us where we want to go. Having some guys rise up and become superstars and combine them with just solid, good players in those other positions so they're not weaknesses. What is up, Sean? It's good to see you here, buddy. Glad everybody can make it. I figured it's on the East Coast. People are getting home from work. Maybe I can jump on and say hello. So we're a couple hours away from Green Bean Show. So we got plenty of time to hang out a little bit and talk. Mims is ripped. Yeah, look, there's no doubt. Mims worked his tail off this offseason. I've never been able to put on 20 pounds of muscle in 5 or 6 months in my life. So that's all I'm going to say. We went to gyms as teenagers when we got older. I never stuck it through. I've never gained 20 pounds of muscle. Just saying. So, this guy went and decided he wants to have a career and not go the wrong direction. Obviously, if he put on 20 pounds of muscle and was working his tail off to learn the playbook and to get really crisp in the routes, he worked on a lot of things, and I'm excited about Mims. Do we trade Corey Davis? I don't think we trade Corey Davis because I think we've had so much. Think of how many guys got banged up last year with injuries. I mean, look, we'll pick up the phone for anyone. JD, we all know JD will pick up the phone, right? If someone wants to go, if someone's desperate, if it's a team like Kansas City, Green Bay, wide receiver goes down or their picks don't work out and they desperately need a wide receiver, and Corey Davis looks really good, but Mims is going crazy, and and Garrett Wilson looks great, and Elijah Moore's going crazy, and they made us some ridiculous offer. Anything's possible, but we don't look to trade him because Corey Davis is a bargain if he plays well. If Corey Davis comes out and he's playing really good ball and he's balling and making big catches, $12.5 million in today's wide receiver market is very, very fair. And it's an option after next year. So it's team controlled. It's a really good contract situation for a wide receiver that has the potential to be like a bottom level WR1 / really good top upper level WR2 type guy. So it's not bad. So I don't think we would look to trade him, but I think anybody, well, not anybody, there's a few untouchables, but for the most part, you never know what trade is possible based on what somebody offers. If you have a partner that's willing to, if they're in a situation where they're willing to get ripped off, like he gets fleeced, JD will come in and fleece them. I love our players, so I never want to see guys get traded, but it's what's best for the team. If somebody makes us an offer that we can't refuse, then we go ahead and we do it. See, you guys are talking about fans. Well, that's an interesting statement that says he's going to have an underwhelming season. It's going to be very hard for him to match what he did on special teams this year. It's very hard, right? It's very difficult to match something like that. I mean, everything has to go perfect to return a touchdown, like whether it's a punt or a kickoff. Things have to go really well. He definitely is very efficient. Like he's very smart, and he doesn't make mistakes like when he runs the plays that he's set to run. And I think that LaFleur definitely has some pretty good plays. And Berrios is probably our most reliable guy for a lot of those plays. Underwhelming. I think he might be overrated. So I don't know that it's because he'll play bad. I just think that because of the last few games, when, by the way, so many people were hurt, there was no one else even there. I think the expectations might have gotten too high of what you're going to see him do. Because if everybody else stays healthy and you got Elijah on the field and Garrett Wilson's looking good and you got Corey Davis on the field, now you got tight ends that can catch the ball. We added another running back who can catch the ball. It might be less. There might be less put on Berrios' shoulders than we saw in those last few games where people got really, really high on him. So it depends on how you define underwhelming. I don't think he's going to mess up. I think he's a really hard worker. I think he knows the plays. But if you're talking about like from a statistical perspective and like the impact he has on the game, it might be underwhelming because he might not get the opportunities. So we'll see. But I have no reason to be down on him. Like as for when he does get those opportunities, they have players though. Yeah, it's great to have a great culture, like in the locker room, like people that aren't unhappy, people that, that are like, it's good to have just a happy team, people who want to be there. I mean, we all probably assume that, Kansas City is a great place to play. Well, maybe for some, but what not? Tyreek Hill now is talking all kinds of crap about him. I can't believe it. I mean, it's shocking, but he is. So I'm glad we don't have that crap going on. I mean, that's not Kansas City's fault, though. I'm not poking at Kansas City. I'm poking at Tyreek Hill a little bit. When a guy goes onto a podcast and complains that they didn't give him the ball enough, he goes, I'm not trying to be a diva, but that's when you know they're trying to be a diva. I'm not trying to be a diva, but that's when it comes about how much of a diva they are. I didn't get the ball enough. You want to win, give me the ball. He had 155 targets. That is a ton. He had so many targets. 110 receptions, and he's complaining he didn't get the ball enough. Well, what's going to happen in Miami when you have Waddle on the opposite side of you? You think they're just going to throw you the ball all day and they're going to just forget about the Gesicki, forget about Waddle? I don't think so. So the answer to that, I believe, is no. We were told by Jets Fan United that the answer is no, but I don't know. I didn't get the information on why the show is off tonight for the Jets 24/7. But remember, they did take a break last year. So there was a time where they did take a break. They're allowed to do that. And Green Bean is going to be on tonight at 8, and I'm sure he's going to give some juicy information. You can ask all your questions. Green Bean will know. He's going to know why why he's doing his show tonight and why the panel's not. He's going to be able to clarify all of that for everyone. And that's just an hour and 52 minutes away. So we'll all get that question answered. I think Jeremy Bean is doing a show tonight and called it the Pacifier Show. Yeah, so who knows? Maybe he did and he didn't. Maybe it's supposed to be announced tonight. So let's all tune into Green Bean because maybe that's going to be the official announcement. Let's see. But I can confirm 100% that I have no information at all that Ryan is a father yet. No information at all. Zach so far voluntary, and now today was looking for Braxton early and often off the field friendship could lead for some extra success this season. Yeah, look. That's very possible. Strong relationships off the field often lead to connections on the field, and not for bad reason. People think, it's like, you're just throwing to him because he's your friend. No, there's evidence of this all over the league. When players are close, they have better chemistry on the field. There's a trust there. There's psychological advantage when you're friends and you like each other and you trust each other. So, yeah, look, they like each other. They, I don't know. Well, I trust Berrios to be Berrios. I trust Berrios is a guy who does what you ask him to do. So it all just depends on how much we ask of him. He's not our superstar, and so it's okay. We don't need him to be a superstar. We just need him to execute the plays. So Stephen Angle, what's up, buddy? I see you out there. John Nolte, Salty Nolte. Hey, Jeremy, how goes it? Hit the like button. Thanks, man. That's right. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. I hope you get over 20 likes. Thanks. Let's get me some likes here. Maybe I should like it too. Let me get me to 20. There we go. I got my other account open on the side so I could see extra comments and stuff. So I forgot to like it myself. So there you go. Takes 2 seconds, guys, but only if you like it. I always like to make that clear now. Someone told me that. There's nothing worse than someone says, hit the like button. It's like, well, why? Like, why should I hit the like button? Why are you telling me to do this for you? It's like, what do I owe you that I should hit the like button? So the real thing is that you should hit the like button if you like the content. If you're enjoying the show, you hit the like button. If you're not, if you tuned in, you watch for 3 minutes, and you're like, this guy stinks, I'm not asking you to hit the like button. I don't deserve it. So Berrios' money hardly ever drops a ball. Well, that looked even better last year when everybody else was constantly dropping it. I like Berrios, man. I liked Berrios 2 years ago when everybody was hating on him. I was like, what's so bad about this guy? I was like, he's fast. I liked him. I thought he was fast. I thought he hustled. I didn't think he was the greatest guy or a superstar, but I didn't know why people would dislike him. There's nothing to dislike about Berrios. Nothing. He's a totally likable guy. He's a good, solid guy that you want on a team. And he's the kind of guy that even though he's not the superstar, right? Nobody's thinking he's going to be WR1, Nobody thinks he has the ceiling that we're hoping Elijah or Garrett Wilson has. But at the same time, would it be that shocking if, like, in the Super Bowl, he was the hero? Or in a playoff game, he was the hero? Or in any regular season game? Is it that hard to imagine Berrios being the hero that makes the crazy play in the fourth quarter? It's not hard for me to imagine that. Not at all. Because he's a good player. And that's the whole thing about having good players, is that anyone could be the hero. Maybe Whitehead makes a huge hit and causes a turnover that ends up winning us a football game. Right? Maybe Reed makes a pick. Maybe Reed gets a couple of deflections and holds back a number 2 receiver, like playing Miami. They have 2 great receivers. We're going to need Reed to play great. If Sauce Gardner can't do it himself. So that's what's good about having good players. Like, you have a lot of potential guys who can be the hero. You know, Michael Carter II, everyone's forgetting about him in that secondary. He was arguably a top 10 slot corner his first year as a rookie. So the potential on Michael Carter II, the ceiling is, we don't even know how high. Because there are guys that get so much better after their rookie year. Year 3 to rookie year, exponentially, like just such a better player. And he already was really good. So there's a lot of people we don't even talk about enough. Both Michael Carters. Breece Hall's covered up Michael Carter a little bit, our running back, Michael Carter, and he might be the hero. He's going to have games where he's a home run running back. He's a home run hitting running back. He is. He's the kind of guy, like that play he got hurt on, that last run he made was superb. I mean, he's like a pinball. He bounces off of people and keeps going. So he might have some big plays. Got a lot of guys. Conklin, Zuma, I can never say his name. We have a lot of guys who can step up and be a hero on our team. It's exciting. Ryan said last week was the last one for a while. Yeah, so okay. So, and that's typical of them. They shut down the panel for a little bit. They take a break. It's the right time of year to do it. This is the slow season. I'm sorry. I'm surprised they even been on the last 2 weeks. It's been so slow. It's been like, it's like it's slow when you look up at Jets news and we're still talking about Becton and Mims. When the headlines are about Bectons and Mims, it's really, really slow. Like very little is happening. So the baby was due July 11th. Okay, so we're right around that time. Chris Bradigan, what's going on? It's good to see you, my friend. John Nolte, what are you saying? Greenman told Jeremy the key to YouTube success is a beard. Jeremy's working on it. Yeah, but then I shave it. I shave once a month. It's the weird. I'm surprised nobody's noticed that. And it's just pure laziness. It's like pure laziness. It's like I'll shave and I swear up and down I'm going to shave in the shower every day and just keep it short. I'm going to make it really easy on myself. And then I don't do it for a while and I'm like, and I let it grow in. But I can't imagine not shaving it and growing a beard right now because I live in Sacramento. And if old Dave was here, who's in Modesto, he would tell you it's not the right time to grow a beard. You can't have the itchiness. It's going to start hitting like 100 degrees every day. That's always sunny and hot in the sun. I just can't. I can't. So, but maybe in the winter, maybe like starting September, I'll go from September to December without shaving and I'll let the beard come in. But yes, if you like my cone head, forget about the content. Liking my cone head is a good enough reason to hit the like button, or just pity me. I feel bad for that guy, has to live with that cone head. I'm going to hit the like button at least, give him something to be happy about in his life. Heard the Bengals might make a move for OBJ. Let's hope if they do, he's not back for when the Jets play them. Wow. It's an interesting move. That's a let's do everything in our power to win a Super Bowl as fast as possible kind of move. I mean, they're really strong at wide receiver already. So that's just a lights out kind of thing. I don't know if it's the best place to put their money. I mean, they lost a good defensive lineman or they're going to lose one. They still don't have the greatest offensive line. I think they have other areas where they should be focused on. But I'm not going to say it's not scary. If OBJ was on their team and healthy, that's kind of scary. I don't know though, man. We'll see. We'll see. A lot of rumors going around out there. Did you see Barrios' new T-shirt? I did share the football to Brainwash Zach. I don't share the football to Brainwash. I did not see it. I did not see it. But I got to wipe my glasses right now because I can't see what you guys are even writing. Let's see. If I look over here, it's because I'm looking at my big monitor and it's easier to see what it says. It's what happens when you get old. You can't read anymore. Did you see Barrios' new T-shirt? I don't share the football, the Brainwash Zach. I didn't see it, but I would buy it and wear that if I saw it for sale. If you think did you see Barrios' new? Oh, wait a second. Oh, it hasn't caught up yet. There we go. If you think Jeremy needs to do a better job at his diet, hit the like button. I did put on like 10 pounds in this vacation, at least. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. For some reason, we got into this thing where when we went to DeFaro Pizza Tavern and got a 16-inch pie, whoever I was with, whether it was my wife or whether it was Y2K, it was in our head that we had to finish it. There's no takeover. There's no take home. So I went there 3 times, and 3 times, once I ate 4 slices, half the pie. The second time I ate 4.45 slices. And my wife did 3.5. She couldn't finish the last half a slice or last few bites. And then the third time me and my wife went, she really didn't even want the 4th slice. So I ate 4, she ate 3. And then I took the last slice and I kind of folded it up like a speed eater, like a power eater. And I powered it down to the crust, ripped the crust in half, gave her half the crust, and we both together ate the crust and finished off the pie. So, but I'll lose it. I promise I'll lose it. Did we have 600 people? Really, though, 600 people and 16 likes. Come on, Jeremy deserves better. You mean 600 subs? Because I don't see that I have 600. I think I have like 27 people in here, but maybe, whatever. But no matter what, it doesn't matter, Tinstar. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support you guys give me. I appreciate that. It used to be, sometimes I don't even have to bring it up or talk about likes because you guys are always doing it for me, which is like pretty awesome of all of you. But you'll look homeless. You'll look homeless and get all kinds of free stuff out there in Cali. It's interesting. My wife took my dog to the park about 4 months ago. Where it's not really a park. It's like a soccer field that's just in the middle of our neighborhood that sometimes the leagues use for like some league games. And she took my dog there to do what we call zoomies. She lets him off leash and he just runs and does circles. It was a beautiful day. And my wife sat down under this tree and just sat there while my dog was running around, and a car pulled up and beat the horn and said, "Do you need food?" And my wife came home saying, "Do I look like a homeless person?" And she had to shoo them away. She's like, "No, I don't need food." She's like ready to pull her wallet out. "I have credit cards. I don't need food." But you get free stuff if you make yourself look homeless. You could walk around and get free stuff. I don't know. It's good and it's bad. They I'll tell you this. They don't seem to get in any. They don't have to follow any of the rules. It's like if I go 5 miles over the speed limit, whatever, I got cops all over me. If we do the slightest thing, if I stay in a store too long after they closed or whatever, and a cop walks by, I mean, I feel like they'll jump all over me. But a homeless guy could stand on the corner screaming and yelling at people who are running by, harass people, scare kids to make them turn their bikes around. Not a worry in the world. No one bothering them. So there is an advantage to be a homeless. Nobody wants to go near you. So you can get away with stuff. I don't know. It's practically legal. It's legal. It's pretty much legal in California to come on people's porches and steal things. And I say that because no one will do anything about it if they do. So I have a pit bull. So you see, he's a friendly guy. Any of you can come over and he'd be friendly. It's not for intimidation purposes. But when you have a pit bull and you leave your wooden door open, it's a screen door. If somebody comes onto my porch or comes through my gate, like when it's the mailman, whoever it is, that my pitty is barking and jumping around by the door. And that has been a great security system for us. Nobody comes up onto our porch to take our stuff. The only problem is sometimes I have to close the door because that's the only way the mailman's willing to come in and deliver the mail, because he's terrified of my dog. My sweet, innocent dog has never heard a fly. Not with Eli Moore. Okay. Wait a second. Let's see what you're talking about. I don't know that's any worse than any city. I think every city has become in this country is having a real issue. Although it was one of the things I did notice in North Carolina was no homeless people. Like we went downtown Raleigh and there was no homeless people. There was no tents. There was nothing. We parked the car. We walked a couple of blocks to a place called the Flying Saucer, got our lunch, drank some beer, walked a little bit around. Then we went to this big park my father told us about that they opened up. No homeless people. There was none. But everywhere else that I go, because I heard New York is really bad. I've heard the city is just awful. San Diego. Oh, wow. Last time I went to San Diego last year during the summer to see a Met game, I went down with my brother and my wife and him and somebody else were walking through San Diego to get to the stadium. Like we parked, like I guess we parked about 3/4 of a mile away where there's parking. My brother knows the city really well. And we walked down streets that we've always walked down that were always just perfectly quiet streets. And all of a sudden there were just tents lined up. Sacramento is more controlled. Like they're in controlled areas. So like they're under the underpasses of the highways. They don't walk around as much. I think that there was like agreements were made. You won't be harassed as long as you stop walking around and causing and making kids and families feel uncomfortable. It was kind of like an understanding. Like 2 years ago, there was like a change here. Where it used to be they were constantly walking around, walking by people's homes. People didn't like it. And they were putting tents up like across the street from businesses. And it was really an unpopular thing. And then all of a sudden they started designating areas where they wouldn't harass homeless people and let them build these little tent camps. But because of that, it almost like they reciprocated by they stay in certain areas. They don't walk around the residential neighborhoods as much anymore. So that's been kind of nice. I guess for people who don't want to walk by homeless people. It's nice for us because, I don't need that grief from my dog. My dog doesn't like, he's so friendly, but man, like if someone goes near him or he senses tension in us, because like if a guy comes over us screaming randomly around and it makes my wife feel tense, my dog will rip their leg off. So I don't know. Oakland is really bad. It's the worst I've seen. I went and that was like 2.5, 3 years ago. I went to Oakland. We stayed in a hotel at my company, and then we walked to a brewery that had food trucks as like an event, like that they rented out. And we had to walk there. It was only like a 5-block walk. But we literally walked and saw like the biggest tent city I've ever seen. Like it was like the entire underpass, like this big street, this alleyway, this yard. It went on and on. It was rows and rows of tents and homeless people. It was like a little village of homeless people. It's kind of shocking. It really is. It's kind of shocking. I don't know what the answer is. I'm not going to get into the politics of it. I'm just saying if you're going to but just to answer the question because you asked it. I don't know that it's worse than other cities. I know Portland, Seattle, they all have it, but it's definitely the worst I've ever seen it in California. Like I've never seen, it's definitely, I've noticed the last couple of years, it's a lot. It's a lot of homeless people in this country. I train pit bulls. Okay. I love watching those. Oh, yes. Hey, dog kills a pit bull. My pit is very, very trained. It's not just that he's trained, he's very, very sweet and gentle. He's very good with kids. But he has a good sense, and that's just what they're known for. People just train them bad to take advantage of this. They're very protective, pit bulls. Stafford Terriers. They're very protective dogs of the people they love. They're like German Shepherds. They're just super, super protective, and they have great senses. So 99% of people will walk up to us in the street, and he goes up to them, sweet as can be, friendliest dog in the world. But if somebody comes up with bad intentions, it's like he knows. I can't explain it. It's only happened a couple of times, but like when someone came up with bad intentions, like to harass or to yell, he just different dog. It's like all of a sudden this sweet, gentle, kind dog, salivating, teeth are out, like a wild animal. And but it's just about convincing the UPS guy and the FedEx guy. Some of them already like dogs, so they're totally cool right from the start, and some are just scared. But if I let him loose when they came into the gate to deliver something, he'd run over and want to sniff them and sniff the package. Like he knows. He's like he would never hurt anybody unless it was somebody that was trying to hurt him or us. If we can get the homeless subscribed to my channel, there's plenty here, man. I would get to 10,000 likes really quick. The whole Johnny Depp thing. Thoughts on the Johnny Depp case? I don't know anything about it. I'm going to be very honest. There's some things that I'll know a lot about, and there's some things I know nothing about. There are certain things I choose not to follow or just wasn't in it early enough, and everything I watch is cable now. We watch shows on Netflix. We watch this. We watch that. Very little regular TV. I'm doing this show all the time. So the only things I know about are the things I select to know about. I did a couple of times walk into a room where I see Johnny Depp in a courtroom. So I see it, but I know nothing about it. I know nothing about it. I don't know. I always liked Johnny Depp. I think he's a great actor. I grew up with him, ever since 21 Jump Street. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know anything about the case. Something about him. I think he's the victim, right? So I don't know. Jeremy, where is your viewer that is a mailman in New Jersey? That is Steven. Steven is a mailman in New Jersey. So he probably appreciates people who have control of their dog. Because I don't blame him. I mean, if you're delivering mail to house after house, you can't sit there and have to worry about every house. Like the owners of the house need to take the proper precautions to make sure that people feel safe if you want your mail. But at the same time, if you have the same mailman on the same route, like we did for a while, he gets to know you. So he knew and loved our dog, right? But then once one leaves, sometimes you go through 10 guys until there's finally a new permanent guy that gets to know you. So when you're going through those 10 people, yet we have to consciously remember to keep the door locked, to keep the upper fence on the porch closed, to make sure the mailman feels safe. Because they don't know that he's friendly. They don't know that he's barking because he's friendly. I know it, but they don't know it. Do I think the Jets are a 500 team this year? I do. I think that my aggressive prediction is 10-6 when I'm feeling really bold. I think that what I really think is 9-8 would be great. I think that I wouldn't be shocked if they went 7-10 or 8-9. I could see a million possibilities of why that would happen. Any kind of major injury, offensive line injury, could do it. Zach playing poorly, Zach getting hurt, injury to Zach. So there are a lot of things that I could see happening that would make us win less games. But if we stayed really healthy and Zach takes the next step and plays much better, I honestly, on paper, don't see why we can't be an 8 to 10 game win team. Like I know 10 is the high end. That's what I'm going to say. But the only thing is lack of experience. Because I know that teams literally have to learn how to win. You can have the skill and the talent, but you have to learn how to win, how to close games, how to win. And our coaches have to learn how to win. So do I think we could be I think we're a 500 team. I think that, we have odd number of games, so we really don't get to, unless there's a tie. I think we've gotten to the point we're a team that could be a little over 500 or a little under 500. Something could go horribly wrong and we could fall down to 6-7 wins. Everything can go perfectly right and we can go 10 wins, 9-10 wins. I think we're in that range. So hard to predict. So hard to predict because we have so many question marks. Carl Lawson, Jermaine Johnson. These are question marks. They are. And, Zach Wilson, big question mark. Is he going to take a big step forward or not? That's a question mark. Are the offensive line, are the tackles going to be able to stay healthy? And who would come in? Max Mitchell? That's a question mark. There's some things to be concerned about. Garrett Wilson is going to be great right away, or is he going to be more like the typical rookie who's not going to be very effective right away? And we got tight ends that, the tight ends don't have, could get hurt. I mean, is Jeremy Rucker going to be ready to step in? There's questions. I think we have a lot more depth than we ever had, though. I mean, last year we were coming to the season pretty much in a situation where if anybody gets hurt, we're screwed. Now we actually have rooms that can handle injuries. We have 3 tight ends, maybe even 4. I heard Cager's playing great. Kenny Yeboah might take another step and be ready to be, I guess, good enough to come in if we needed him, if he even makes the team. It's so competitive. Running back, we're no longer one running back gets hurt, and now we lost Michael Carter and have nobody. That was a rookie. We were relying on a rookie. That's how, and then he got hurt, and then we didn't really have him. Now we come in second year, Michael Carter, ready to go, proven that he's a good player with Breece Hall. Suddenly one of them gets hurt, you have the other. You have 2 guys. I mean, I thought Michael Carter had the potential and the ceiling to be a top 10 running back in the NFL from what I saw of him last year. So now you add a guy like Breece Hall. I mean, you have 2 guys who potentially would be starting RB1s on other teams eventually, like, in 2 years, throughout their career, like develop into, because RB1, first running back on the roster, starting running back. So we have depth in certain places. So I think there's a better chance that we'll be able to survive whatever injuries come, and a better chance that we'll be able to be a plus 500 over 500 team. And again, I love us on paper. I love our secondary. I love it. Look at our 3 coverage people. Like when you start the game, Reed, Sauce Gardner, Michael Carter II. Right? Then we go to a 5 and we bring in somebody extra, Bryce Hall. I love it, man. Like, we got quality. That's a quality secondary. Whitehead, he's a heat-sinking missile. And again, I think there's going to be a lot of competition, and whoever's going to be that other safety is really going to have to earn it. So I think we're going to get some decent play because they're going to be playing for their life. We're a little worried about linebacker. My biggest fear is CJ Mosley gets hurt. And then I think we're really, really in trouble. I am excited about Quincy Williams. I'm excited about him. I don't know he's going to be really good. I'm excited that he potentially might be really good. So we're going to see. We're going to find out. I don't know anything about Slab City. What's that mean, Slab City? Why am I so clueless on some of this stuff? What about Slab City in Southern California? Do you think about that? I don't know about Slab City, man. I know San Diego. That's Southern California to me. My brother lived there. I used to go to San Diego a lot. I don't know. I know Temecula, really beautiful area. I got a friend there. I don't know much more about it. Remember, I'm just a New Yorker coming in here, stealing their weather here. I'm an outsider here. So it's always nice when a Miami fan agrees that the Jets are a 500 team. That's kind of cool. I think that Miami needs some chemistry too, and that they're in a very similar position than the Jets. Like, at different reasons though. Like, I'd be a lot more confident if I think their biggest question mark is Tua, and I'm not saying Tua is automatically not going to be a good quarterback. I don't think that's been proven. I just think he's a huge question mark. The rest of Miami's offense, oh my God, they are dangerous. They got some great receivers, great left tackle they signed. Giuseppe, they're going to be a problem. I don't know. I don't understand why. I mean, the only thing that might make Miami less of a problem is year one, because if they're implementing the same system we put in, we know how that goes. Like, it could be really a rough year implementing the new scheme, but like for the future, man, I'm telling you, our division's trouble. You have a Chihuahua named J. Cole. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Staying healthy is the key. Yep, man. We can't say it enough. It's like, it's so funny. It's can't say it enough. It's just like staying healthy is just so important, and it's like we could potentially be so good if we stay healthy. We really could. And that's really what it's all about, and today was a good day because we stayed healthy. So, what is this? Don't be a wuss and hit Alt plus B, 12 and 5, baby. What happens if I hit Alt B? I'm afraid it's going to screw up the show, so I'm not going to do it. Maybe Alt B just means be bold. Wouldn't it be great if we were 12 and 5? Hey, I'm not going to argue it, but it would be a surprise. It's not something I would predict. It would be a surprise. It wouldn't be a shock. It wouldn't be impossible. Like, people will laugh and say it's impossible. I'm not going to say it's impossible. It's not impossible that Zach Wilson's going to come out and have a Patrick Mahomes type his second year. Like, it's not impossible. I'm not saying it's likely. I know it doesn't happen very often, but it's not impossible. He was the number 2 pick in the draft. He has the arm talent to do everything Patrick Mahomes does. It's not impossible. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. Nothing is impossible, right? I mean, it's not impossible that Breece Hall rushes for 2,000 yards. It's not. It's not impossible. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. So, yeah, I mean, if they go 12 and 5, I'll be thrilled. I think the way that would happen is if we start the season 3 and 1, I'm going to start thinking 10, 11 wins. If we get through those first 4 games 3 and 1, I know it's going to be a little rough in the middle too, but we get to 4 to 5 wins by our break. If we go in 5 and 4 to our bye week, wow. That would be absolutely insane. So if we go 3 and 1, we get off to a good start, and we actually threaten to get to 5 wins and be 5 and 4 going into that bye week. That could be really, really big trouble for the rest. Like that's going to be very exciting. But again, it's not something I'd predict. I would never survive out there. Love spring and fall weather. Yeah, I bet, man. The summer's tough here, man. Summer's tough, but it's dry heat. But the problem is Stephen, you'd be stuck walking in the sun. I mean, it could be 105 degrees here, and we could sit in the shade and be okay because it's totally dry. But man, the second you step out in the sun, it's the worst. So you really need Zach Wilson to be great to start the season. No, we don't. We definitely don't need him to be. It would be a pleasure. It would be great. It would be exciting and fun. It would be like for him to come out year 1 and be a Ja'Marr Chase would be a great thing. Do we need him to be? No, definitely not. Definitely not. That's crazy. Like, for any team to be in a position where you need a guy as a rookie to come out and be great. That we're in trouble if that's what we need. If we're depending on rookies to be great, we're in trouble. I think Sauce Gardner is going to be great, but I don't think the Jets are going with the mentality that we're depending on to be great. I just think he's going to be great. He's the only one I think is going to be great right off the bat. Everyone else, I'm like going to be patient and real. I'm just going to hope for flashes, but I'm going to be patient and just understand that it's their rookie year. And that's just the way it goes. It takes time for a rookie. I want Elijah Moore to be great. It's year 2 now. Now, he doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be he's not in his prime, but I'd love to see him be what he was in the middle of last season. I'd love to see him start where he was at week 8. A guy who's going to get us a good chance of a touchdown each game whenever he plays, make some big plays, big catches, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see what John Hepburn has to say. Oh, one second before we get to John. What's this? I noticed this and I just have to highlight it. Salty Nalty, what are you talking about? Back to homeless and pit bulls versus I love it. There are a lot of teams that have turned it around in a short time. Remember the greatest show on turf, the Rams. Yeah, man. We turned it around with Parcells. In a heart, right? With Parcells, we turned it around. We flipped it. Then Parcells went over as GM in Miami and flipped it for them. Miami went from worst to first. So hell yeah. I mean, but they're not things I would predict. That's all. I'm not going to go around saying it. Oh, we're going to be the best team in the division, and we're going to, we're going to win 12 games. I'm not going to go around and say it because I'm learning now that there's just so many things that can go wrong. But it's not impossible. I'm not going to sit there and think it's a joke or it's ridiculous or there are people act like we're so crazy, but it's like, look at the Bengals. I mean, there's so many examples of teams that don't have that ramp up period. They just jump to being great. They just it just comes together. And especially in this system, I mean, there's so much evidence of it. This offense can improve 10 points per game. If you look at history, if you look at the history of the Shanahan offense, look at year 2. If we're suddenly scoring that many points, that many more points a game, and our defensive line is raising havoc, if they stay healthy and they come back strong and JJ's a hit and Lawson comes back at full strength, and if Quinn Williams has a breakout year, if those things are happening, if we're dominating in the trenches, and that defense with the secondary is looking really good and holds up really well, and we're scoring 8 to 10 more points per game, I just don't see any limit to how good we can be. And it's happened in the past. We're not naming something that's never happened. So, I just don't know about JJ. I love JJ. I'm excited we picked him. I think it was great we got him at 26, but I've been a Jet fan too long. I've lived through too many guys. Vernon Golston, I've lived through too many guys who I thought for sure were going to be like the answer to our sacks, and then they just either awful or just pedestrian. So let's just hope he comes in and does it. Hope he works out. Yeah. Grandire's just saying something smart. I don't know if the Bengals are going to be so incredible or unbelievable. A lot of times people have very disappointing year 2s, like after a big burst like that, because they start to believe they're good and they stop working hard. Like they think that it's just who they are. We're good now. And they lose that hunger. They lose that eye of the tiger. Not to be corny, but it's true. Seen it happen. Super Bowl blues. Super Bowl hangover. I'll say it for you, Jeremy. We're number 2 in the division this year. I love you, Big Green. I love you. I hope so, man. I hope so. I get excited. Look, I don't know about you guys. I get into different moods and different modes. There are moments where I'm thinking, fuck this, man. We can beat anybody. We're going to win 12 games, 13 games. We're going to go deep into the playoffs. We're going to scare the hell out of people. There are times I get into that mode because I'm looking at this roster and I'm just imagining it being amazing. Just terrorizing teams on the ground. Just terrorizing teams. Just running the ball up and down the field. They cannot stop us. Breece Hall just being insane. Insane. Being like right away rookie year. Crazy, crazy big plays. Dominating the league. Just amazing. Like I have these thoughts sometimes. Mims is good. Garrett Wilson's explosive. Elijah Moore breaks out. Corey Davis comes back to his old self. Zach Wilson is covered with talent around him, has more time, is throwing bullets to people. Tons of play action passes, one-on-one, deep downfield. Think about it all the time. And then I remember also that feeling of when the game starts and I look at the other team and go, oh, yeah, that feeling of nerves and all those losses and all the disappointment. But I go through different moods. I just don't understand on paper why I would believe or let myself believe that we can't be a competitive, decent team this year. I just don't see why not. Take care, buddy. Take care. Thanks for coming by, Grandizer. You are a loyal fan. Did you guys know that Jack Daniels started selling pre-mixed Jack and Cokes? Where did that come from? That's a big deal in Iowa. We don't know if it's going to be legal here yet. It's got to be voted through our state Congress and Senate. But we certainly like to have Jack Daniel drinks pre-made for us. Sometimes it's difficult to have to drive to the market 30 miles away and then drive another 40 miles to the liquor store to get both of the ingredients. But if we could drive to one place and get the Coke and the Jack at the same time, that would be great for us. That's my imitation of like a farmer's voice. Okay. He's going to be so mad at me. I'm afraid to read the next comment that comes from Iowa. I agree, but it seems like Jet fans expect these rookies to be the heroes. Yeah, look, I don't think we could expect rookies to be heroes. They're not me. I'm not saying it. Although I think, though I do believe Sauce Gardner. It's not that I expect him to be. I just think he is. I think that Sauce Gardner is like one of like these very special players. And I don't know why I can't see that. I don't know why anybody else doesn't see it, because a lot of people do see it. But I don't know why anybody wouldn't see it. I don't know what Sauce Gardner has done that wouldn't make someone say, "Oh my God, this guy's going to be ridiculous." Yeah, it's a hard pick to make. It's hard to draft a Jets running back because we're advertised to be a running back committee, especially if they insist on giving Coleman a lot of carries. If he's our number 3 and they give Coleman a lot of carries, so now they're dividing it 3 ways. And if it's working, like if everybody's running well, they don't care about Breece Hall's stats. If everybody's running well because our offensive line is doing great run blocking, they're going to be thinking, how do we preserve and extend his career? So, but a lot of, obviously you want to go for Tyler, from Indianapolis. I mean, to me, he's the number 1 pick. I mean, I love what's his face from Tennessee, but he was hurt last year and he's getting older. Tyler is the safer pick to me. Like, he'd be my number 1 fantasy pick. I don't think I'm alone in that, right? I'm not crazy. Some people, nah, Cooper Kupp, that's what I would still take the running back over the wide receiver. Because you can get a lot of good receivers in fantasy football, but there's so few running backs that you could rely on. So now I'm talking about fantasy. Uzomah extended the season last year on IR, so ended the season on IR. So did Wesco, and Ruckert was dealing with a foot injury from Ohio State. Those guys have to prove they're healthy. Yeah. I think Ruckert was fine in, what do they call it? The combines. So I think he's fine. I don't know if Wesco's going to even make the team. We'll see. So this is funny. I thought he was going to attack me, but instead he insults Iowa. I just saw them at Walmart. If they're in Iowa, it's been a minute since they came out. I did think that I do think I saw an advertisement about pre-made Jack Daniels drinks in the past. Okay, but if Zach Wilson lives up to his draft status, the Jets are going to be a problem this season. Yeah. I told you, I honestly believe it's not impossible that he's going to have like an insane season, like a breakout insane season. It's not impossible. The talent is there. It's just, when is it going to click? When it clicks for him, it's over. He's going to be a problem. And I really believe in him as much as any quarterback we've ever had, that it's going to click for him. I believe in this kid full-heartedly. It's another thing they are selling already. I kind of don't mind just buying, a 2-liter bottle of Coke and a bottle of Jack and making it myself, but whatever. Sauce Gardner made mistakes. He shows promise, but he has a learning curve still to perfect. He has potential, but he has made mistakes thus far. Well, yeah, anybody's going to make mistakes, right? I don't think he's made any horrible mistakes. The little bit I saw, he's still looking pretty darn good. But we'll see. We'll see. I think he's going to start off. My prediction is that Sauce Gardner's rookie year is going to be the worst year of his career, except maybe the last year of his career. It's not that far of a reach. Now, the question is what's his worst year of his career going to look like? He might be a better than average cornerback. Might be a lot better than average. And his prime might be the best cornerback to ever play in the NFL. I'm not saying that he's going to be. I'm saying could be. Or he could just be like top 5 to ever play in the NFL. Do my expectations seem high? What makes you think there's restrictions on booze in a state where the most exciting thing of the year is the state fair? Because I constantly mix up states like Iowa with states in the South. And states in the South are insane. North Carolina, up until year 2000, you couldn't buy good beer there. You can only get Budweiser because they weren't allowed to sell beer that had higher than 5% alcohol content. Okay? And then you couldn't buy beer on Sunday till like 1 p.m. or something. It was absolutely insane. And you could only buy liquor to this day at state government stores, the ABC stores, which to me, like, you can't go and buy liquor at a Costco in North Carolina, which is just insane to me. But that's more about money than anything, right? That's a money thing because the state probably gets to make a lot of money selling liquor. I just don't see how people don't protest that. Like, why the hell do we have to go and buy our liquor from you? Day the Jets win, you come into New York to see them ride down the Canyon of Heroes. It's a good question, man. It's a good question. I used to work right by the Freedom Tower. I watched the Freedom Tower get built after 9/11. I worked in a school there from 2011 to 2016. So it was right around the years where they were building the Freedom Tower. And from the 9th floor, from my assistant principal's office, you could look down and see Broadway and Wall Street and all those, like it was where remember that protest was where all those people were living in the park? I forgot what it was called. They were all living there forever. Occupy Wall Street or something. That's what it was. So from the window, you could see the parade. And we actually saw in the 2012, when the New York Giants won the Super Bowl, we watched the parade from his window. Man, it would be really cool to be part of that. That would be something, V-Man, for me to come across the country for. That would be something worth coming across for. That would be pretty amazing. Can you imagine Green Bean? It'd be easy to find him. He'd stick out like a sore thumb in that crowd, running along the side, trying to grab pictures and video for his show of the different, of the parade and the players, yelling, "I'm Green Bean, man. I'm Green Bean. Don't you recognize? I'm Green Bean, man." Matt O'Leary, you'd see him somewhere like on 23rd Street, like on the side, sticking out like a sore thumb because he's 6'10". It'd be a good time. It'd be a good time. It would be a great time after, because I guarantee you Sack Exchange would throw Steve, the Sack Exchange would probably throw like the biggest party in the world somewhere in Brooklyn. It would probably be the most amazing party to go to. That's what I would imagine, V-Man. But if the Jets win the Super Bowl, will I fly across the country to go to the parade? I'm going to try really hard to make that happen. I'll just leave it at that. So, I mean, that would be such an amazing thing to be part of. I mean, guys, I'm thinking of getting a tattoo right here on my upper arm. I'm thinking of getting. I was gonna get the round logo, but Nick Shine convinced me that I should get the 1980s logo, the Jets logo. I was thinking of getting the Jets logo in green, and then right under the logo, just have it say Jets Chaos, or join the chaos, or feel the chaos. I don't know. Maybe I'll put out samples and I'll let you guys help me decide. But I'm thinking of getting a tattoo like that. That would be cool to have that by the. I mean, that's how obsessed I am with this team. You guys all know you're obsessed too. So imagine me just running around the parade showing off my new tattoo. Then I can't get buried in a Jewish cemetery. Oh well. I guess I'll have to live with the consequences. So I think I'm going to wrap it up, guys. We got about an hour till Green Bean's on. Did everyone vote today? Is there voting today again? What's up with the... Oh, it's Tuesday, so I don't know. Oh, wait a second. We can't go. We can't leave. Deli's here. Deli 83 is here. King Mead, Ron Jeremy. I like the way you extend my name as you learn more about me. King Mead, Ron Jeremy. Next week it'll be gain 15 pounds in North Carolina eating pizza. King Mead, Ron Jeremy. What's up, buddy? Guys, you have to go to Deli's Facebook group. I'm forgetting the name of it right now because I don't want to missay it. I might sound like a racist, so let me not misspeak the name of the group. I'm going to look it up right now. I'm such an idiot. Negro Fly Zone. That is the name of the group. It's called Negro Fly Zone. Deli 83 is an admin in this group. It is a fun group to talk Jets. It is obviously a safe space. Everybody is accepted. It doesn't matter what your color, race, or creed, whatever they say. It doesn't matter. Everybody's welcome. You just have to be a Jets fan, and you can't be racist. And if you meet that criteria, you are welcome to be part of this wonderful group where there's lots of fun articles shared, pictures are shared. There's a lot of promoting of great YouTube content and shows by some bald guy that looks like Mr. Clean. It's a great place to go. So I suggest you all join and apply and whatever, fill out the little application thing and tell them you're from Jets Chaos. So Deli will know to let you in. And it's a fun group. So I hope to see you all in that group. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, yes, you see, he agrees. Yes, bro. We welcome all Jet fans. He welcomes them. I'm going to meet up with him in some ale house. What's the name of that place? The Blue Lagoon Ale House or something? The Blue Lagoon. Isn't that from the some movie like Police Academy? No, I think it's like the Blue something ribbon or blue. I don't know. There's a brew house in that part of New Jersey that we're all going to meet up in. Me and Deli are going to get drunk together, and we're going to drink some mead. And if they don't have mead, we're going to yell at them. We're going to be, what are you talking about? You don't have mead. Oh, it's the Blue Ale House. What are you talking about? You don't have mead. This is year 2022. You have got to have mead. You've got to have mead. People, if you haven't started drinking mead, you don't know what you're missing. I got my favorite flavor, Strawbanero. It's like the strawberry mead that with this nice burning hot habanero finish. It's perfect. We got Mark Reese in the house. What's going on, brother? Hope it's going well. And we got our friend from London. What is up? Greetings from jolly old England. Jolly old England, mate. Phil Adams, good friend of mine. You see this banner behind me? Hold on, I'm blocking it. Let me go to the other side. There we go. Let's light this baby up. Let's light this banner up. Where did I get this banner, guys? Huh? How does a guy like me get a banner like this from London? I'll tell you how. You have a friend like Phil Adams. All my ring lights are dropping and falling over. That's right. I'm in a studio, man. I have ring lights. By the way, in case any of you noticed, there was a time where we were doing Green Bean Show and I was backstage, and he said, "Oh, Jeremy's like like ringing the alarm buttons to get my attention. If any of you were wondering what I was doing this. And Green Bean was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it works. It gets my attention. He goes, but it kind of blinds me at the same time. Yeah. Back again. Guess who's back? You're back. Shady's back. Is that your nickname? Shady? Like Eminem? Yeah, we all going to meet up during the season. Nick is cool. He is cool. Look, everybody's coming in now. I'm getting ready to go. And now you guys are going to all jump in, all my good friends. My friend from near Palm Springs, Johnny Marahiel. You know what? I'm saying it better than anybody else does, even if I'm saying it wrong. Marahiel. Johnny Marahiel. Good friend of ours. Good friend of mine. Good friend of ours. You know. Likes to eat the sauce on the gravy on the sauce, on the pasta. He's here. He's outside of Palm Springs. One day I'm going to make it down to Southern California, and we're going to get together, have some drinks, and Johnny's going to tell me about the good old days, about the Titans, and we're going to talk about Stony Brook and the 1 year overlap we may have had at Stony Brook University. So, have you mentioned the Flight 222 clip? It's like a Hollywood blockbuster. I know that the show is coming out on Thursday, right? Like Thursday, their One Jets Drive is coming out. They're going to release the 4 episodes. So I'm really excited about that. I'm feeling a little bad for Green Bean Show. I'm worried. Like, is anybody going to watch Green Bean Show if they just release those shows? I think I would watch Green Bean and then watch those shows, because those shows you can watch anytime. You only get certain opportunities in life to watch Green Bean live. So that's going to be that's how I feel about that. What a day for Zach, and beat writers actually reporting positively, except for Samini. Samini wasn't super negative, but he wasn't super complimentary. He was kind of like up and day for Zach Wilson. But hey, I'm not like somebody Steele was telling me before. He goes, Jeremy, you can't act super excited when he has a great practice and then act like it means nothing when he has a bad practice. So I'm gonna just say, I'm just glad everybody stayed healthy. And it's good to see him throwing accurate short passes sometimes. Just once in a while to remind us that he can. You're not going anywhere. Just when I went out, you pull me back in. He did very good. He was like, we read out the numbers before. He was, if you combine both his stats from 7-on-7s and 11-on-11, he was 23 of 29. Delhi. 23 of 29, no off scripting, no being confused and running around, staying in the pocket and running the plays that were called. So he wasn't even going off script or anything like that. This was all just running the system. Do your best Italian mob impersonation. Hey, look. I'm sick and tired of people coming onto our territory, coming in and selling their drugs and all their fakta shit. But did I mention I'm a Jewish mob boss? So I want you to get me my bagel and schmear. Make sure it has a lot of logs. Make sure you get me a nice cup of coffee. Not too hot. I don't want to burn myself. And then you take a gun. You put it to the head of any motherfucker that comes into our neighborhood and tries to sell anything that's not kosher. You got me? Okay? Go do it. Otherwise, we call in the big guns, okay? I'll call in Shalom Malecki. Shalom Malecki. He'll come over and he'll take care of business. And if you really want to piss me off, I'll call Chaim. And you know what Chaim will do. All right, that's my best mob boss impersonation. Hope you liked it. Uncle Junior Liz. I sound like a Eugene. instead of a cuisine. I love it. I haven't heard the term cuisine in ever. I love this one. Uncle Junior lives. Uncle Junior. He was great. What's this? Green Bean should change his showtime to an hour after each episode so we can all talk about the episode. That could be good content. You don't always catch everything watching something once. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I'll mention that to him. He's on tonight. Green Bean is on in 53 minutes. So maybe we could mention that to him. Maybe I'll say that to him. I'll say, hey, you should wait. Give people an hour to watch the first episode of Jets, One Jets Drive. And then maybe we could talk about it on the show. Or maybe he'll show clips of it. Who knows? Frankie did that last year. Cough drop. The Godfather. The Jewish Godfather. You should call up Green Bean right now. I was actually just talking to him via text. So I'll probably, that's why I need to get out of here. I need to take a break because I think I'm going to go backstage with him just to help him out tonight. I might be backstage, moderate the chat a little bit. So since I'm going to be stuck in this seat, maybe I'll take a break for a while and see you guys at 8 o'clock Eastern. 1 a.m. start again for you. Oh my God, I forgot, you poor guys. Anyway, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to eat before the show. Green Bean will be on tonight, so don't miss it. It's going to be a good time. He'll be talking, probably giving a lot more details about the first practice than I gave. Or maybe not. I don't want to promise something he's not planning on doing, but great show. Great show. Thanks, man. It was just me coming on to hang out, but I appreciate that. Guys, take care. I will see you tomorrow night. I didn't realize that. I'll be on with Watsuke99 for Wacky Wednesday. I'm going to ask Adam if he can get some more details on some of the players for you guys. And Braden's in New Zealand. He is 5 hours behind me, a day ahead minus 5 hours. So I can confidently say that it is 11:09 a.m. on Wednesday. 11:09 a.m. on Wednesday, where Braden is. But anyway, I will see you guys. Thanks for being here today, man. Thanks for being so active in the chat. I appreciate you. Thanks, guys. You know I love you all. Thanks so much. And we'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's night show. Maybe I'll even see you tonight on Green Bean's channel. So take care, and everybody be good, and go Jets.